What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the debate room. This is episode 86. 86 episodes is crazy. We're getting close to that 100 episode mark. But before we hop into the topics, I'm with my guys, Latif, Max. Y'all say what's up.
How's it going, guys?
Let's do it.
That was I'm sorry, that Latif. I need a better response than that. That was very unanimated. No interest in the conversation today.
I was looking something up. My bad.
Some stats.
Yeah, some stats.
Here we go.
Anyways,
I wasn't done speaking. Q is going to be.
What are you talking about? What are you talking
about? I was asking him on his energy.
No, I'm excited for this episode, man. I've been wanting to record this for a minute. So let's do it. Nobody care what you're talking about, Jaden. Nobody care what you're talking about. Please.
It's been 54 seconds and there's already sass.
Well, nah, bro. The thing is, Latif been playing with me this whole day. And
I have not been paused. I have not been playing with you at all. Actually, I have not been playing with you, bro.
Anyways, Q will be on this episode. I think he's just running a little bit late, but we can just Actually, how are y'all feeling today, man? I never get like time to catch up with the guys.
You just asked
to talk about it. Yeah, you asked that. We started talking about, yeah, exactly, bro. Like,
good.
How are you feeling, bro?
Bro, we trying to be an alpha male. I want to throw him. Anyways, now we good, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Semester is wrapping up really soon, and
I'm done next week. So I have 3 papers to get done.
Yeah,
3 finals to study for. Like this next week is super hectic. After that, though, it's playoff basketball, and that's it.
I got a 230-point assignment, 150-point assignment, a 7-page paper due. It's a whole bunch of stuff. But anyways, so yeah, semester.
Same.
Semester getting crazy.
Yeah. My semester getting crazy too.
So hopefully we can stay consistent with the videos, but it's gonna be a lot tougher seeing that we are college students. So we're gonna try to do our best though, for sure. We're trying to hit 1,000 soon.
Yeah, my semester getting crazy too, bro. I'm like a aspiring news reporter, so like the classes that I'm taking, I guess making me go out and do like a whole bunch of interviews, edit it, put it together. Then I gotta write scripts for my little news segment. So there's a lot of stuff going on, especially this week. I have a whole bunch of projects due, but I should be done with class in like the next 2 weeks. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Then I'll be right back out here. So it's a little bit hectic. But I kind of like that. I kind of like having stuff to do, having a lot of stuff on my schedule. But, and as I said that, my boy Quentin.
Metro Boomin just dropped a tweet at Drake. This is weird.
What do you say?
It's a video like him playing some like the drums on a producer beat or something like that. I'm trying to see what this is real quick. It's 7 minutes. What the hell?
So last night I was at
I'm not watching this shit, man.
Yeah, this not the time or place. And why are you messing with the ops? We don't.
Yeah, my bad. That was me. I don't know. I was interested in the ops. That was me. My bad, y'all. My bad. That was me.
Anyways, Q. My bad. Q, how you feeling? Q, how you feeling, man?
I'm alright.
All right. So I think we can just hop in. Today starts the play-in tournament. I'm kind of iffy about the whole thing. I don't understand why, if you're a top 8 seed, why you have to do this whole play-in thing and then risk getting out of the playoffs. It makes no sense to me. It is what it is. Though.
Just win a game. Win 1 of 2 games, you're fine.
Max, you only say that because the Pelicans are in the play-in right now.
Thank you.
The play-in has been one of the.
Max, it's crazy because I feel like we were doing so good, bro. Like we were.
But just because I disagree with you on something does not mean that the world's gonna crash. See, like I just don't understand it.
I'm just saying they were in the play-in last year. Like it's not new for you. You would have been fine last year if they would have made it out the play-in. You only saying that because you know there's a high probability that you're gonna lose, bro. Because you know you're losing the first game. And now you in a 1-game scenario.
I want to lose the first game. I want to lose the first game. I want to lose tonight.
You don't have the.
I don't want to see the Nuggets.
We're gonna get into it.
I don't know why you want to lose. But
I don't want to see the Nuggets. Hey, yo.
The play has been one of the best things. It's been one of the best things, bro.
Can I introduce the topic, bro?
Go ahead.
All right. So today we're doing play-in predictions. First, we're gonna start with the East. Let's see if you go because you're so animated and happy to talk about it.
I mean, I really don't care about the East play-in. I think the West play-in is much more exciting than the East, to be honest. With the East play-in, it's only literally the Sixers and the Heat, and then after that, we know whatever team loses that game is going to win the AC game against the Hawks or the Bulls. So I really don't care about the East play-in too much, but it's interesting. I think this game is pretty hard to predict because the Heat have went through so much injuries throughout this entire season. The Sixers have had their fair share of injuries throughout the entire season. So both these teams, it's not that much tape on them. We know that the Heat is a great defense and a terrible offense, but it's really hard to get a glimpse of or a feel of what the Sixers are because Joel Embiid missed so much time this year. I do think the Sixers are going to win that game, though. I think Joel Embiid has looked pretty good since he came back, and even though Spo is great in playoff situations and one-game scenarios, I do believe the Sixers are the better team and will get into the playoffs as a 7 seed and face the Knicks. So as far as the East, that's my predictions.
What the hell? You don't believe in playoff Jimmy?
I don't subscribe to playoff Jimmy. I don't think that's the actual thing. So
I agree with Latif. We'll talk about it with the Western Conference ones too, but just in this one game scenario, I do think it's got to be Joel Embiid just winning one game at home. I don't know if he's going to be healthy or good enough to play for a whole 7-game series. We'll get to that later. But as far as the one game scenario, I got to think that they're going to be good enough to at least win one game. The 9-10 matchup does not matter. Whoever loses tonight will get the 8 seed. Whoever loses tonight, I think, will get the 8 seed. I don't think the Hawks or the Bulls make any noise. But yeah, I honestly do think that Philly will win tonight, get the 7 seed versus New York, and I think Miami will get the 8 seed and have to face Boston.
That game's tomorrow.
We're talking about the Eastern Conference though, as a whole, right?
Yeah, we know. The game is tomorrow.
Yeah.
We know.
Oh, I said tonight though. Yeah, I said tonight. My fault. Tomorrow night, I think Philly will win. Yeah. Sorry,
bro. I can't put anything over Spo, bro. I can't do that. And we know that, first off, Latif, I hate when you do that, bro. I hate.
What are you talking about? Finish your statement, bro.
I'm gonna calm myself down and be professional, bro. Anyways, I'm gonna calm myself down. Anyways, I can't just bet against Spo. And this is the time where we see Joel Embiid fold. He is a playoff dropper, and I obviously this isn't like a real playoff type of environment. Well, it kind of is. It's a playoff environment, but it's not like the actual playoffs. But I honestly can't push it past Embiid to not choke. So
the Heat lost the playing game last year, bro. They literally did. They lost the first game last year.
That's true. They won it. They won the second. They won the second game.
Yes.
Bulls. No.
They lost. They lost against the Hawks, and they
Hawks. Hawks, because remember.
You're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
Now your camera's off. Now you're muted again.
Pause. Apologize. They barely beat the Bulls last year, by the skin of their teeth. They won by 2 points, bro. They had to come back from down 20. They were not supposed to win. The Heat aren't good, bro. This gotta stop. This gotta stop. But Joel Embiid in the second round, yes, he's garbage. Pre-second round, he's still pretty much the same dude, bro. That Miami nonsense, cut it out. We could bet against Spo in the first game.
You got one of the best defenders on them.
But
I seen Al Horford do it.
I think nobody else.
Put Bam on him. Jimmy has a career night, or not a career night, just a playoff Jimmy experience. Anything can happen, man. I'm gonna take the underdog because I know everybody's gonna say the 76ers, and they do have a better roster. Terry Rozier is poop. Is Hero back officially?
Terry Rozier has been playing in that game. Yeah, he out for the game.
Oh wow. So I don't know. I'm expecting Jimmy to turn it up, man. I'm really expecting that.
I think in the course of a series, though, I think Spo can make more adjustments after a couple games and stuff. But in this one game scenario, you can obviously make in-game adjustments, but I think you have the luxury of having more time in the whole series to kind of develop that. I think in this one game scenario, all bets are off.
Nick Nurse not some trash coach either, bro.
Exactly.
I didn't say he was.
I'm just saying he has very, very good defensive schemes as well. And again, Miami's a terrible offense. They're not good at all. They're 21st or something like that. It's ridiculous. We can move on to the West, to be honest. Ain't really much to say about the East.
Okay. anyways, tonight, the Lakers and the Pelicans face off, and then the Warriors and Kings face off. Now, again, I am a Pelicans fan, and our last outing against the Lakers was honestly very disappointing. Our games against the Lakers this whole season has kind of disappointed me. Ever since that I've came to the Pelicans franchise, we've been very, very competitive with the Lakers. Like that was something that's the team that we always showed up and showed out for. When we had Drew, Lonzo, younger Zion, because Zion is obviously still young, but it just seems this year Zion is just gets scared against LeBron. Like it just his game just goes down. I don't know what it is. He becomes a turnover machine. Seems like he's scared to get into the paint. I feel like the size of the Lakers impacts him a lot. So I think the Lakers will end up coming on top today again, and I think it's just a matchup issue. But I'm not too mad about that because I think that we can win the second game, whether that be wait. It depends on who wins the Warriors and Kings, right? That's who we face this game.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think the Warriors will beat the Kings, and I think that we can beat the Warriors because, again, it's just a matchup issue. The Warriors are just too small. They're too small, and that's a game that Zion will dominate. I actually do want the Lakers to win this game because I don't want to face up against the Nuggets. That's just like a 4-game sweep. And yeah, that's just that's something I don't want to see. If we can get the Thunder, that's more favorable. That is very favorable. I think that series goes to 7, but we can get into that a little bit later because I'm,
I don't know why you would be too eager to face the Warriors in the second game. Or
hold on, T. Hey, yo, Jaden just lied. Well, this whole time I was looking back at the Lakers Pelicans record head to head last 4 years. It's Lakers been cleaning up on it. It's never ever been close. The only time it was close was the games that they lost when LeBron and AD was hurt, bro. It's never been close.
It's not true.
It's never been close, bro.
That's literally not true.
This has never been close.
When is the last time the Pelicans beat the Lakers?
It's been a while, but almost all the games were close. Well, besides this year. The games haven't been close. But that's not this year. Last year, just the last 2 games last year, 123 to 108, 120 to 102. That's just the last 2 games of last year. Like they've been getting cooked. Zion was hurt. Zion was hurt.
Okay,
it was a game where Matt, what's his name, Matt Ryan, he hit a shot. He hit a shot for the Lakers. The game-winning shot. And then the year before that it was battles, and it was the year before that it was battles. That was when Zion was dominating AD and Dwight Howard. It was bad. It was bad.
That didn't happen.
I guess it didn't.
So last year he played 29 games, and the year before that, I think he missed the whole season basically. So you're talking about the year before that?
Yeah.
Okay.
In 2022, LeBron and AD were injured. You know what I'm saying?
I just don't understand. I mean, like Golden State's gonna be a tough matchup too, as well. It's like Zion has not dominated the Warriors this year. He has not. He has not played well against them at all. To be honest,
he dominated the second half. That's a lie. The first half.
That's not an entire game though. And
if you watch,
I watched the entire game.
Okay, Latif. Honestly speaking, no bias because you even admitted that you hate Zion just because he's my favorite player, which is obviously you're a grown man. You have to form your own opinions. But watching that and seeing his misses, would you say that is because Draymond impacted his shot, or would you just say those were some fluky misses?
No, Draymond Green played great defense on him when they took him out the game. When Steve Kerr, his rotations were terrible that game. He took him out of the game. And they were even smaller, and that's when Zion got going. Draymond Green played great defense on him, and he struggled with him the entire season.
So what happened? What happened in the second half when he was going right at Draymond?
I just told you that Curry took Draymond out in a pivotal moment, and then Zion started going crazy. I have already said the stats. He has not played well against Draymond the entire season.
I'm asking you, what did he do against Draymond in the second half? That's what I'm asking you.
He did not play well, bro. I have the stats. Literally, I already sent them to
in the second half. He didn't play well against Draymond.
No, he started going crazy when Draymond was out of the game. Like, we all watched this, bro.
Okay, so once
he has not played well,
the game, then he got neutralized. Is what you're saying?
No, but by that time, y'all had already had a big lead, and Stephen Curry had to bring the game back again. Like, what are we talking about? Again,
to be fair, the Pelicans still they still match up well outside of Zion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not gonna be. I think they still win the game, but it's not gonna really be because of Zion. It's Brandon Ingram, Trey Murphy, CJ McCollum. It's their perimeter players. That's where they have the advantage. But Draymond Green has clamped Zion this entire season. That's a literal fact. That's a literal fact. You can't argue with it because it's literally a literal fact.
You know what I think this whole little back and forth between y'all two is that you. Let me come on. I'm done looking at the stats. You, Jaden, believe like when the Pelicans win, it's probably usually going to be a Zion thing. But most times, like 9 times out of 10, it ain't really just a Zion thing. It's really everybody else.
No.
It's just attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't go to bat for Zion. Don't like if you just bring up the team without bringing up Zion, you might win more of these arguments because the Zion angle ain't really ever going to get you far.
He's not gonna. He hasn't played well against the Warriors or Draymond Green. It's a fact.
He has been their best player against them, and then based on the stats, he has been their best player.
No, against the Warriors, yes. Yeah. But
so what are we arguing?
When we won against the Warriors, the last time we played them, it was at the hands of CJ making like 9 threes and Trey Murphy doing the same. So obviously, I'm not saying it's all Zion, but to say that he was neutralized that game is totally wrong because he took over the second half is what I'm saying. And to say that Draymond Green neutralized him in the second half is a total lie because Steph brought them back in the game and Zion was still going at Draymond and scoring. So I don't know what we're talking about. Again, it was I would say it was on the shoulders of Trey Murphy and CJ McCollum because they had. I'm not gonna say career nights, but they had like amazing shooting performances that I thought couldn't be replicated, and they went out and did it again. I mean, that I didn't think could be replicated from the Kings game, and they did it that game. So
what happened is, again, I already said this, and everybody watched the game. Curry took Draymond out; they went even smaller, and he wasn't even matching his minutes. Whether it was because Draymond was in foul trouble or he just wasn't matching his minutes, and that's when Zion really started getting it going. But for the majority of the second half, Trace Jackson-Davis, Draymond Green gave Zion trouble, and they've been doing it the whole entire season. That's not a good matchup for him. It's not. The reason that the Pelicans will win the game is because they have the edge on the perimeter with bigger perimeter players like Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, and Brandon Ingram.
Do you see like the coverages that – and then with B.I. being here, it's going to be even worse. Do you see the coverages that they put Zion in, bro?
That's my point. That's my point.
Everything is either like a straight-up – 2 or 3 people come or just straight up stunts and they fall asleep and then Zion makes the right play every single time. And it again, it's going into you guys' points. Not sometimes. Zion mostly always makes the right pass. Let's not.
He's had high turnover games against Draymond Green. He's had literally 3 assists, I think, and 5 turnovers against him as the primary defender, bro.
What game was this?
It's the 2 games combined. It's the 2 games combined. If we could go to the last game, let me go pick up the stats from the last game, bro. Was that how long ago was that? Like a few days ago?
What? Yeah, that was the 12th.
I think that was
12th.
Yeah.
Let me look. I'm finding it right now. Zion had 3 assists and 2 turnovers. So his playmaking wasn't great in that game. He didn't. I don't think Zion had a great game in that game. I don't think he dominated. He dominated a part of the game, yes, but he didn't dominate the whole game.
In the second half, bro.
That's not the entire game, bro. He came out played terrible.
Okay, and I said that the first half wasn't. First off, that's not true too. We can't ignore
he was good on defense. He was good on defense.
You can't ignore the defense that he brought. I think he had like 6 steals in the first half, something crazy like that.
He had 6 steals for the game. I don't know what was in the first half.
Okay, but he had a lot of steals in the first half. His on-ball defense was really good. He was very disruptive in the passing lanes. That's why you saw me hyping him up in that game because his defense looked tremendous. In the on ball, he played great.
I don't know about on ball. He had 9 deflections that game. I remember I looked it up a few days ago. He had 9 deflections that game, but it was still a lot of plays where he was in space. He was getting cooked, and he got 1 steal on Stephen Curry when he blitzed the pick and roll. But then the next play right after that,
he got a steal on the ball with Wiggins.
It's Wiggins, bro. I mean,
okay,
but
what does that mean?
So
one of the most athletic players. One of the most athletic players in the league. Quick step.
What's he got to do with his ball handle? What are you talking about?
That has a lot to do with it.
The main point is though, I don't think you should be looking to win this game tonight. It shouldn't be. I want to avoid Denver because it's no guarantee y'all lose tonight that y'all making the playoffs. Because again, they have Stephen Curry, who is still a top 5 player in the world, and they have
I like my chances. Defense. I like my chances better, bro.
They have the defense to neutralize Zion. You should be trying to win this game tonight, though.
I think you guys are arguing both very different points, so I don't think you guys will come to a consensus on this.
He does that a lot.
How are we arguing two different points?
Because you're still hitting home on the whole game, and Jade's still hitting home in the second half, and you're talking about when he was off the floor, or when
I'm not talking about one game. I'm talking about how he's played against
Don't worry
the Warriors.
about it, Max. He does.
Like I don't know. I feel like you guys are going circles around each other right now.
He does that a lot, bro. You just got to take it.
I don't know. You just don't be honest about Zion ever. So it's.
I guess I'm not being honest. Okay, we can move on, bro.
You don't. Every time we talk about the Pelicans, it's you don't watch the games, and we say anything to counter your points.
You don't watch the games. Honestly,
we do, bro.
I take Q's analysis with more thought because he actually watches. You don't. You just say
you don't know what he watches, bro. That's weird.
You don't watch. I know you don't.
Yes,
watch.
I do.
The stuff that you say
you can't say
that you don't watch. So why am
you can't say I don't watch, bro. I literally I watch enough Pelicans games to have a analysis on how they've done this season, how Zion's played this season, and then you can just go check the stats to back up what your thought process is. Y'all been great. Y'all been great this season, and it started off a little shaky, but then you guys got in a real groove.
Nobody.
And then Bradley got hurt. And then Bradley got hurt.
Went down and derailed everything, bro. That's just plain and simple.
They've been a great
about nothing. Y'all wouldn't have been in the play-in if BI didn't go down. Like
True.
To be pretty fair. So don't blame the play. Like that wouldn't have been a situation for you. You know what I'm saying? Like it just hurts you now.
They've been a good defense all season, and then their only real issue is rim protection, pick and roll defense. That's because of Zion and Val, who Val is not going to play in a lot of playoff series because he is.
Let me ask you a question. Has Zion gotten better in the pick and roll?
He's still not good in it, but he's got better. He's not good in space. He's not good on the ball either. But that's the truth. And you go. Let's ask Chu if he disagrees with me because he watches the game. Says you just don't watch the game.
No. I wasn't agreeing with you. I said okay.
So there's nothing I say wrong about the Pelicans. They are a good 3-point shooting team. They just don't shoot a lot of them. So I know about the Pelicans. I watched enough games for them this entire season to know their weaknesses, their strengths, all this. Y'all, I just say y'all great defense.
Because we have a lot of good perimeter defenders.
Yes, y'all do. Y'all have Herb Jones, Trey Murphy is solid. Brandon Ingram has been good this year.
Brandon Ingram has been a really good defender this year.
Exactly. So what am I saying wrong to say that I don't watch the games? You just say that because you have nothing to combat my points with. It's
just I feel like you look at stats and you don't watch. So
that's because I actually use stats. And you just talk about vibes. That's your problem. You just talk about vibes. And so yes, you do.
I watch my team. I watch the team.
One team. That's one team. I'm talking about the entire NBA.
I actually watch the team and analyze what's actually going on. You look at stats, and then you think that tells the whole story.
I haven't said anything wrong about the Pelicans. And again, I watch almost every team around the entire NBA, except the trash ones, because I actually pay for my NBA league pass. I watch a lot of teams in the NBA.
I don't care.
That's fine. So you can't say I don't watch games because I use stats. It makes no sense. Because we oftentimes on this podcast, it just be a lot of takes where we just no analysis, no stats, and so it just sounds like we're just talking our ass. That's the problem. That's really the issue.
Right.
But go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead. What?
I say we good. We can move on to the next thing.
Yeah, I mean we got another playing game to talk about.
What's the other playing game to talk about?
I talked about the Kings and the Warriors.
The Kings and the Warriors.
I think the Warriors
Listen, you could wrap that pretty. They played each other this year. Like each game was decided by 1 point, like a game winner every single time. But that's different. Like since Malik Monk went down, this team has not been the same. So it's like they using Harrison Barnes as basically like their third best player, third best scorer, really, and it's not like conducive to like really doing anything. Keon Ellis, I guess that's going to be their option to try and go at Curry, but like in a 1-game scenario, especially against this team right here and how they play each other, I'm gonna go with the Warriors. Like they seem to have the number on them, and it's the playoffs, damn near basically. So they employ whatever scheme they use against Sabonis is going to come into full effect. Kerr might not be silly with the minutes this time, so expect the Warriors to win this game. If the Kings win, it's cool. They've been knocking on the door for the past year and a half, 2 years, especially against the Warriors, but it's the one last hurrah, and they can't go outside like this because if they lose and not make the playoffs, it's the really, 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 really the end of the big three.
Yeah, I definitely want to make a video if they lose because then that's the dynasty really over. We got to talk about that shit. But I think the Kings are just too injured, bro. Like Malik Monk went down. That's a big part of their offense, and he took a lot of offense load off of De'Aaron Fox. But I will say the Pelicans, Kevin Huerter out too. Yeah, Kevin Huerter out too. If the Pelicans, if the Kings win somehow, they are at home, so they get them extra boost too because they're a really good home team. But if they do win the game, I think the Pelicans beat them because they just don't have the size or defense to deal with the Pelicans.
I know we'll get into it later because I think you guys think that Golden State would make that 8th seed. But is it fair to say that this is the end of the big three anyway? Huh? I know Q and Latif do.
You think the Warriors would beat the Pelicans?
I'm actually. I said they would, and then yesterday I said in the chat they wouldn't, and the Pelicans wouldn't. But I'm like, again, I'm flip floppy. It's like, yeah, like it's not like there's no kind of like I don't think pick.
What kind of Curry are we gonna get? What kind of BI are we gonna get? What kind of Zion are we gonna get? Like, there's a whole bunch of question marks. Just one game, but especially if the Warriors don't make the playoffs, I think it's a better chance that Clay leaves. You guys see that one report where like was it Orlando or something is trying to offer him like a
I saw that.
So I think like the Warriors need to cut ties right now because you could still try and build something to win with Steph, and we'll get into it regardless. But unless the Warriors get on some crazy whatever dynasty run, like I think it's the end regardless. So
if
they
we
can
don't
lose this game, whatever. But
if we don't make the playoffs, even if I don't want to say because if we match up with the Nuggets, it's like okay, it's the Nuggets, but
yeah.
If we don't make the playoffs in general, a lot of stuff is going to change in New Orleans too. I think.
What you mean? I think it's just CJ. I think you move with CJ. I think you move CJ for sure.
No, I think
BI.
Is he free agent?
The BI
CJ can't get moved, bro. You can't get moved.
The BI and Zion experiment
years
is
like 2 or 3
over with, and this has been like a looming thing even before like we got the ball rolling and the whole national media. This team could be a dark horse contender. It was looking like after the season, BI is gone. Like regardless, that's what it was looking like. You got to choose between Zion and BI. Obviously, Zion has a little bit more upside as being a number one. He's younger as well. So BI, if we don't make the playoffs, BI is out of here. A lot of stuff is changing within the Pelicans organization. I shouldn't say within the Pelicans organization. It's probably just roster changes and moves.
Worst case scenario, you guys win tonight, make the 7th seed, and like look okay. So you have to keep the same roster. So like worst case scenario. Do you want changes to be made or no?
I just don't think that this a Zion and BI led team goes far. So just
like what's the narrative this offseason? If you beat the Lakers, you make the 7th seed. But yeah, it is Denver, so they're probably gonna win it all. So it's fine if we lose in 5. You know
yeah. I mean? Then you probably run it back again. But I just don't. A lot of stuff has to change. A lot of stuff has to change.
You're in a weird state of mediocrity because you're not. I'm sorry, like unless you make some big moves or draft insanely well, I don't think you're gonna compete right now with OKCs, with Minnesotas. Right? I think you're still a piece away from being up there.
Yeah.
So I don't think that they should rush, not rush, but I don't think they should give up on the BI experiment. BI is our experiment after this year, because for y'all to be a real threat in the future, Zion has to take that next step or play that level played to that level he was in 2021 on a more consistent basis, that's when y'all take a real step into, okay, we're a serious threat in the West. They also need to get a center.
You got to realize the reason he hasn't been on that 2021 level is because of different schemes and stuff when trying to involve BI more.
How many games did BI play in 2021 though? Because he was there. I think he was there when they was, let me go look. I'm gonna find it real quick. Brandon Ingram stats in 2021.
The Pelicans only
played 61 games. He played 61 games, so he can play at that level with Brandon Ingram on the team.
Okay, that's true, but with new coaching and Zion had to adapt a different role this year, so that's kind of why it was a dip in production. And also, he saw new defenses and stuff like that, so that played into his dip in production as well. But he's kind of had to adapt a new role this year.
I got a question. Are they mediocre because of games won, like their record? Like they mediocre because
they're not a mediocre team.
I wouldn't say they're mediocre because of that. I just don't see. Of course, we have the defense. Well, we don't have the rim protection. It's just this team. How far do you honestly see this team going?
The Pels?
Talking about them being mediocre. They were 40. They won 49 games this year. BI missed like the last 12. You don't think in those 12 games with BI they probably win 4 more games? If they just win 6. If they just win 6, they basically got the best record in the West. So like, would we still be calling them mediocre then?
It's just what would you be able to do? What would you be able to do in the playoffs?
But Q, would you honestly take any of the teams above that? Besides the Suns, any of the top 5 seeds? Are you taking the Pels over any of the top 5 seeds in the 7-game series?
There was a point in the middle of the season when they were right next to the Clippers, and people were honestly debating whether they'd take the Pelicans or the Clippers in the playoff series because they were next to each other and they were 4-5.
The Pelicans are a bad matchup for the Clippers too. They're a bad matchup.
But I'm saying, whatever, season's done. We've seen all these players. We know who's healthy for the playoffs. If the Pels are,
they're a bad matchup for the Clippers. They're a bad matchup for the Clippers.
Are you honestly picking OKC, Minnesota, Denver, Dallas, or the Clippers? Are you picking the Pels over any of those teams in the 7-game series?
Probably not. But I'm
picking them over the Mavs.
Minnesota really just got here. Minnesota really just got here. That's one.
Understand still.
OKC also literally just got there.
Still, I'm still saying. Are you picking the Pels over them?
They're on the same playing field. Like, to me, they would be on the same playing field. It's not like I'd put them right there at the same. At least I know for a fact BI has been to a playoff series before, and we played exceptionally well. CJ also, like, that team has played well. They just ran into the number 1 seed Suns. Like, that's what happened.
It's the same thing.
It's literally been there. We don't know what it could look like. If Zion does what Zion's actually supposed to do, there's no way that anybody on OKC should be able to stop them in theory. You know what I'm saying? But they also got other players. They got the same amount of depth. That they're not as young, but they got the same amount of talent. They're pretty much on an even playing field, not named the Nuggets. So I don't think they're super mediocre. They just got hit with an injury bug late in the season.
It's the same thing with Memphis last year, though, with being like the 2 seed and running up like to an experienced Lakers team. Like, just because you had a good regular season, like, I still think, and again, I know Minnesota and OKC are not experienced, but especially against the Clippers, especially against the Nuggets, and especially against Dallas, I'm picking all those teams because they have experience. You can say maybe Dallas doesn't, but they have Luka who has experience. I'm taking all those teams over the Pels. So I get it where you're saying like Memphis and OKC are also both new teams. But I mean, at the same time, like, I just think, I don't know, that especially Minnesota, OKC, sure. I'd say you can maybe give them. I'd say they have the best chance against us, but I don't think it's like I'm not comfortably taking the Pels over anybody there.
I don't think the Pelicans should be moving off of BI at the end of the season, unless he just like leaves in a couple of years in free agency or whatever. But it's for them to improve around the margins. Zion has to take another jump. They need to get a center that can actually defend the paint. Maybe someone
point guard still
they still need a point guard. So you guys got to improve around the margins. Still got a good draft capital, stuff like that. So I don't think going up is the answer for sure. They just gotta.
To be honest, I think although I have been stressing us getting a point guard, I feel like that's very vital and important to the whatever. I can't think of the word, but I think most importantly we do need a rim protecting big. Zion and BI have showed that they can take the playmaking role. CJ over the past 2 games with BI being out, he's been dominating on the offensive end. So honestly, I think the biggest question mark and the biggest piece that we need to go after is getting a rim protecting big. If it's one of the two, we got to get a center.
Nick Claxton is available this offseason, who probably work well on the Pelicans, but I think he probably going to like a team like OKC or the Grizzlies. But yeah, I just don't think that you should rush it. I think
I got something to say about the Grizzlies too. So I remember when we did the draft, the mock draft, and I picked Reed for the Grizzlies. I don't think that looks too bad right now, bro.
No, that's still not a good. That still shouldn't be getting him at all.
How was that bad?
They have a loaded guard room. They have Marcus Smart. They have John Morant. They
shooting, but they don't need another guard.
Yeah, you know right. They don't need another guard. They need a wing.
Gigi Jackson is there. Gigi is the wing. Gigi is the wing.
I'm not talking about that. Gigi is a good shooter too. They don't even like they shooting needs not that even that big. They already got Desmond Bain, John Morant, Derrick Rose, and Marcus Smart. They have a lot of guards, bro. They have a lot of guards.
They need Donovan Clingan.
They need a center, bro. They need a center way more than
they need a center. But we had Clingan off the board at that time.
No, he wasn't.
No, he was not.
I picked him 10. I picked him 10 to Atlanta.
He was not. That's not. They don't need a guard, bro. They don't need a guard at all.
Yeah, at all. Like that'd be a waste. Like he would be lost in the shuffle. That would have been a waste of a pick.
Yeah, he wouldn't get no minutes. He wouldn't get no minutes.
He would get minutes.
And for what he's gonna do, he's not even better than Luke Kennard right now as like a shooter, as what they need, what he's gonna be doing. So Luke Kennard's gonna play for him too. So it's I think
Luke Kennard's a free agent.
Nah, he got like a year.
Okay.
All right, we can move on. We kind of loomed on that for a while. So let's look at the Celtics versus the AFC. We're predicting that that's gonna be the Sixers.
Heat.
I don't think it's gonna be you. I think you're the only one that said that.
I think it's Miami. I think they win in 4 this year.
Wait, I'm confused. I thought you guys said the Sixers were gonna win.
Yeah, so they get the 7th seed.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I think Boston wins in 4.
Same.
I'll give Miami Heat some respect. It'll be Boston in 5. I'll give them some respect.
I was about to say, let me just go up in 5 so I don't get killed too much. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just say Boston in 5.
I've been talking to my friend about this year. Boston just seems like, I don't know, unless someone gets injured, I think they steamroll people into like Eastern Conference Finals.
If it's the Heat, if it's the Heat, I give them 5. If this is the Sixers, I give them 5. It's just the roster construction of the Celtics is just too crazy. I don't care that you have an MVP player on your on the Sixers. I don't care if you have playoff Jimmy. It's just it's too crazy. Honestly, the Celtics, like we've talked about in previous episodes, like we've probably outlined before the season even started, the Celtics are going to steamroll through the playoffs. I think that's pretty consensus. So I think whether it's the Heat or the Sixers, you got a 5-game series at most, and that's just giving respect to the opposing teams.
The Sixers can get 2. Sixers are a better team than the Heat.
I don't see it. I think the Sixers can go 6 for sure.
Yeah. I don't see it.
All right, anyway, they don't have.
What you mean?
Joel Embiid can go crazy on them. I'm please don't spare me the Al Horford. Please spare me that. He's done great job. He's going to cook Porzingis. He would cook Porzingis.
He would cook Porzingis. But you also have. Well, what is Tillman's defense been like as of late?
He's great. He's a great defender, but he hurts the offense.
He's also 6'8" though, so he's not.
Tillman's a great defender.
That's true.
But he hurts the offense. I don't think they can play him. They'd rather play Horford.
They have pieces at the center position that you can throw in front of Embiid. Obviously, it's Joel Embiid. You know, you're not going to stop him. In a way,
that don't matter. The Sixers can't beat the Celtics. That's never like past 7 years. It's not. They can't beat. So I don't. At that point, it's like that's just like a bad matchup. So like I'm not going to even kill Embiid for like if he does see the Sixers whenever he sees them and loses. Like we knew that was going to happen. That's been the thing forever for real.
Okay, we can just we went through that. So the Knicks versus the Heat or the Sixers, you guys are assuming it's the Sixers, so we can just go that way. This is a compelling matchup because with the Knicks, again, you don't have Julius Randle. You guys are saying most of the defensive potential, not potential, most of the defensive attention is going to be towards Jalen Brunson. Obviously, you're going to have to rely on Josh Hart to step up offensively. OG, you do have some pieces, Dante, but what is that going to look like in a playoff series? I don't know. Joel Embiid in this case is that big X. I'm gonna give the Sixers the upper hand, but I say the series goes 6, possibly 7. 6 really though.
If the Knicks see the Sixers in the first round, I think the Knicks going to win in 7 games. I think this is a great team. They obviously lost Julius Randle, but they've been a great team even without him. I can see it going 7 just because they are one of the teams that are the best matchups for Joel Embiid. They have Mitchell Robinson off the bench. They have Isaiah Hartenstein, who's a great defender. So they just have a lot of bodies to throw at Joel Embiid defensively. OG can come over and help. They're just a great defensive team. And then I don't think the Sixers really have the necessary guard defense to stop Jalen Brunson. Now, they have Yancey Melton, but he's been hurt for a lot of the season. I think Jalen Brunson can still get his. OG's going to be great. I think it's going to be a very, very close series, but I have the Knicks winning the 7.
Not having Julius Randle, I think, will obviously hurt the Knicks. I think this series definitely goes 7. I feel like I'd be surprised if it didn't. I think that Joel Embiid can will them to 1 playoff series win. Hopefully keep the momentum rolling. So I'll probably take the Sixers in 7 against New York. Nothing against New York. Had a great year this year. I guess the only difference for that would be if Jalen Brunson plays out of his mind more than he has this year. If he's averaging 40 for the series, I don't think you can really bet against that. Obviously, defensively, like Latif was saying, such an enticing matchup. OG, since the trade, has just completely changed changed the entire part of that team. I think it'll be a good matchup, but I don't know. I guess it'll depend on how JoJo's playing. But if we get any ounce of what Joel Embiid was playing in the early part of the year, I'll go with the Sixers.
They have Hartenstein and Mitch, bro.
Hartenstein is not going to – he's, again, a great defensive piece, but you think he's going to be able to neutralize Joel Embiid, honestly?
They are the best matchup for – they're the best matchup for Joel Embiid, though. No one's going to, we're talking about top 5 player fringe in the world. Some people have him in the top 5. I'm getting close to having him top 5, too. A lot in the world, right? Right. So no one's going to neutralize him, but there's probably not another matchup in the entire East that is better than what the Knicks have from Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein. Those are 2 elite defenders. They have OG there too, so they just have a great defensive team.
OG but Joel Embiid, bro?
No, as far as in help, bro.
I feel like we've yet to see this Sixers team really play though as a whole with Buddy Hield, with everyone healthy. So
that's a good point too. They don't have enough continuity to just go into a playoff series and Joel Embiid is back now. We're gonna win the series. I don't think they do.
Buddy can step in any type of
role. Saying I also think I agree. I'm still going with the Sixers. I'm not changing my opinion or whatever. But I think it'd be good or bad. We've never seen this team before. They can come out here with insane offensive efficiency, or it could look discombobulated and stuff.
Yeah, this is it could go, to me, it could go either way. For Joel Embiid purposes, I'm gonna say that they come out with this in 6 or 7. It really comes down to whether you think because outside of Joel Embiid and Jalen Brunson, I'd say the roster is kind of comparable. Enough Tyrese Maxey is probably better than it's probably matches up with OG in terms of impact for what they do with their team. And then you got DiVincenzo, whatever he is, versus Kelly Oubre, Tobias Harris versus their 4th or 5th best guy.
Josh Hart, maybe.
I'm taking Tobias Harris. I understand people don't like Tobias Harris or whatever, but that's more about the money, not based on skill. Buddy Hield, like you brought up, I feel like he'd play a lot better. He wasn't playing well, but he play a lot better with Joel Embiid, garnering attention. So I think they could pull this off. And this is no slight on New York. This is just they're missing their 2nd best player, and it's gonna matter a lot because now it's 7 games against the Sixers and Nick Nurse with Jalen Brunson the main focus of attention. That's gonna bode bad. He could get tired. He's probably already bone tired right now, going for 8 straight 30 balls. Like, man, it's going to be hard to do that in the playoffs, like especially against this team. When Joel Embiid is on the court, they have one of the best defensive ratings, when he plays. So I don't know if he's going to be able to do all that, based on their size, length, depth, skill. This is going to be a tough series.
I think OG could damn near like neutralize Maxey though. If that's the matchup, like he could damn near do that.
I'm not saying like, oh, he's guard. I'm just saying like, what Maxey does for the Sixers, pretty much, is the same as what OG would do for the Knicks. Like their impact, for their team, like specifically, like what OG does, like he's very important to this team. Obviously, Maxey's very important. Like it's pretty like even across the board, depending on like their role for their team. Not like OG versus Maxey.
They're gonna need Maxey to be great. I think in order to win the series, and I think OG just throws a monkey wrench in that. Like I think he is that elite of a defender where he can have Maxey struggling. Then they obviously got Dante. They got Josh Hart. They got Precious who's been playing well as well. They got a really good team. I got the Knicks in 7, bro. So that's just me.
Okay. Next we have the Bucks and Pacers. I think a lot of respect is going to go back to Damian Lillard's name, man. I feel a big series coming out of Dame, man. With this series, I think this goes. I'm gonna be respectful and I'm gonna give it 6. Honestly, this is going to be very, very nasty for the Bucks if they see a first round exit. Honestly, if they don't end up just losing to the Celtics, it's gonna look nasty. Period. Because you get Dame, you have Giannis. Again, the defense kind of fell off, but then we saw it kind of gain some traction earlier and towards like the middle of the season. But if they lose to a team that's not the Celtics, the talks is gonna be nasty. But I think that Dame is going to have a time in this series. I'm gonna say Bucks win in 6.
I got the Bucks in 7. I think Giannis missing time is gonna really, really hurt them. If he misses like the first 2-3 games, I think that the Bucks will at least get 1 or 2. But the Pacers have played the Bucks well the entire season. They had their number the entire season. It's because they're one of the fastest paced teams in the entire NBA, and the Bucks are the slowest. They're the oldest. So it's a really a clash of style in that sense. And I think the Pacers will definitely win a few games with Giannis out. Giannis' injury is a major, major factor in this series. And if he's not 100% or he's not playing well or he misses a few games, the Pacers can prolong this series. Dame should be able to play well in the series because the point of attack defenders on the Pacers are not great. But again, Giannis is out. I think that's a big part of it. Not really expecting Dame to go like insanely crazy. I think this series will be 2-1 either way until Giannis comes back. Now, we don't know how many games he's missing, but they say he'll come back later in the series. So I'm thinking that's like game 4, 5, 6, or 7. So I have this series going 7, and I got the Bucks winning at 7.
If Giannis misses 3 games, the series is over. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, there's a 70% chance the series is over if he misses 2. Like if he misses those 2 games, all Indiana has to do is win those 2, and I'd take them best 2 out of 5. The rest of the way, especially how they played them this season. So like the way they won, Giannis is averaging like 35 or like 38 and like 15 against them, like, and they still haven't been winning. So that's just a bad matchup. Like I don't want Indiana to win for like Halliburton, like but not because I don't really like think he's like the greatest thing how people say, but also there's the Dame Giannis thing not working. The team has not been good, even though the record says otherwise. Like, and this injury just came at the wrong time. So if Giannis misses 2 games, I'm gonna go with Indiana.
This is like 2 of the most underwhelming teams in the second half of the season. I think the Bucks might be the most underwhelming team of the entire year. The Dame and Giannis experiment has not worked out like everyone thought it was going to. I mean, like this is, I think, Dame's opportunity to kind of just, I don't even know. Like I think it should be his to take over. The Pacers have obviously been on a downhill a little bit. Tyrese has not been playing how he used to. He's kind of came back a little bit, but not like the first half of the season. I'll go Bucks in 6, but that's strictly based off, I feel like, having Dame and the experience they have on their team. If Giannis comes back, I think it could be done sooner. But yeah, like you guys said, the Pacers have played them close this year. So it could get ugly fast, but I don't know. I feel like I can't see the Bucks going out round 1.
Okay.
I don't know why. They were like 1-7 in like their last 8 games. At one point they were like 1-7 to end the season. Like they haven't been great at all this entire
I'm not
season.
saying they are. I said they were one of the most underwhelming teams, if not the second half, but of the whole year.
What makes it so hard for you to see them going out in the first round?
I just think when it comes down to it, if you need to, like, I don't know, you can say playoff wise, Pacers don't have much playoff experience at all. Pascal's like the only guy who does. I honestly just think that the Bucks will be able to get it done. I think Dame could finally lock in and win a series. I think they'll speed the process up. If game 1 and game 2 look really bad, I think Giannis will play. Unless he re-injures himself, I think he'll keep playing for the rest of the series and they'll win.
Okay.
I don't know. Based on recent history, it's very much on the table that the Bucks go out in round 1. Like they've dealt with this same situation last year with a also very underwhelming Miami Heat team beat them, like with him on the floor. So like they definitely.
I just don't see Miami last year and Indiana this year. I think Miami's a much better team than Indiana this year.
Indiana this year was a better team than Miami last year.
I just think offensively, yes, they're great, but still defensively as a whole, if they play the Bucks well, but I don't think they're like as a whole just a better team. I don't know. Maybe it's just
they don't gotta be. They just have to be a better matchup
for the Bucks. That's
fair. Matchup. And Miami's also a better matchup. That's why they usually win. That's all I'm saying. Like it's very much on the table. It's not like the Bucks are some unbeatable. Like they never go in the first round.
I'm not trying to say that they are. I just feel like matchup wise when it comes to playoffs, like I don't know. I feel like teams who have done it before, I give them a little more credit, but I agree. Tyrese could have a great playoff success or something that we don't know about. Pascal's the only guy I think on the team who's really like made the playoffs in the past year or two.
Okay. Next matchup we have is the Cavs versus the Magic. In this series, I'm not that big of a Paolo fan, but honestly, no bias. I think the Cavs definitely have their number on this one. Just the front court defense moves me. And also, I feel like the Cavs have way more playoff experience. I feel like it's just true. Donovan Mitchell is going to go off. Darius Garland has kind of tailed off this season, but I feel like DG is going to be pretty good. And yeah, I just don't think the Magic have enough experience, and it's just going to be one of those years that we see Paolo. He's going to have to adjust to a playoff environment, and just kind of again adjust to how the playoffs work. So I'm going to take the Cavs, and I'm gonna be generous. I'm going to take the Cavs at 5. Latif, I want you to go next, because this is your team.
The series is going to be a bloodbath. These are two of the best defenses in the entire NBA. They're also two of the bad to mediocre offenses in the entire NBA. This is going to be like a 1990s feel. Like it's not going to be high scoring at all. It's going to be really, really gritty for sure. I'm giving the Cavs edge in 6 games because of the experience, because I trust Donovan Mitchell. I think it will go 5 or 6. But again, the Magic don't have a lot of experience. Their offense is terrible. It's one of the worst in the entire NBA, honestly. And again, the Cleveland defense is great. I think they have Evan Mobley, they have Jarrett Allen, players that are going to be able to stop Paolo from getting to the rim as much as he wants to. So I got the Cavs in 6 or 5 or 6. Got the Cavs in 5 or 6 for sure. But yeah, it's going to be it's going to be one of them series. I saw somebody say like this is going to be like an NBA TV type series, because it really is. Like the games are not going to be like exciting to watch for like the casual basketball fan. It's going to be a lot of defense, a lot of fouls, slow paced. It's going to be one of those type of series.
Q Max.
I was just looking at the their series, like their in season series this year. The Cavs beat them twice, scoring over $120. Other than that, it's been like T said, pretty low scoring. These are two good defenses. The only edge that Cavs got is that they have the better offensive players, regardless of whether like DG showed it this year or not. It's gonna be tough. Paolo's ascending, but like this Magic team, they just got on the scene, and I'm gonna just lean on the experience of what they already have, plus Donovan Mitchell, who aside from the last 2 series, pretty great in the playoffs. So I think this is probably Cavs in 6. I'm gonna give the Magic some credit. They might steal one on the road, steal get one at home, but the Cavs are gonna close this out.
I think the Cavs are very motivated from last year after getting bounced by the Knicks, I think in 5. And they had home. I think they had home court advantage too, right? They were the 3 seed, and New York was the 6, right? So I think they're very motivated from last year's series after getting embarrassed by New York, if you want to call it that. Orlando is obviously very young and inexperienced. Latif talked about their offensive woes being a good defensive team. I think Donovan Mitchell, I agree, will come back to some sort of playoff prowess that he was at. But I think it's more on Evan Mobley and Darius Garland to actually show up this year and be the guys that you can rely on, especially Evan Mobley, as I assume he'll be the primary defender on Paolo. So I think that Cleveland should take care of business. I'll give it 6, but it could be down to 5.
Well, the Donovan Mitchell point, I don't expect them to go crazy this series. I'm not going to lie, because they have Jalen Suggs. They have, like, some of the best perimeter defense in the entire NBA. They have one of the best entire defenses in the NBA. I'm not expecting him to go, like, 2021, 2020 Donovan Mitchell. I'm just not expecting that. But I think we can still win, though. But I'm not expecting him to return to prowess in this series, because I think Magic are one of the teams that match up the best with him. Jalen Suggs is an all-league defender, and I think he can do a very, very good job on him, for sure.
That's fair.
Okay, so now moving into the West, we got the Thunder versus the AFC. Now, this is where I think the Pelicans are going to land, and I got this being a rugged series, honestly. I got this going 7 in the favor of the Pelicans. Now, we matched up with the Thunder, I believe, 3 times.
3 times. We beat you twice.
Yeah, we dropped the series 1-2, but taking into consideration that Zion didn't play one of those games, I think the first game, I know Latif likes to talk about how they're going to have J-Dub on him and have Chet roaming. That only worked for like the first half of the first meeting this season, and the second half, that didn't work. We got the playmaking rolling. I think in that game, too, shots were not falling at all. Shots weren't falling.
I don't know. I think all I remember was you were hating on CJ McCollum before the game, saying he was terrible. And I think CJ was just torching us.
I think that was the second game.
Okay. I was going to say one of them. But
yeah, but even in that game, Zion dominated. Zion averages, I think, like 25 and almost 10 assists against you guys. So, yeah, with BI back, with Trey performing the way he's been performing, we have the perimeter defense. I think that this is going to be a great matchup. Again, size is a problem. I'm not saying that the Pelicans have just great size issue, but size is a problem for the Thunder. I think that this is going to be a series that could possibly go 7, and I'm taking the Pelicans, man. I'm taking the Pelicans.
What, Zion played twice this year? I don't know.
Yeah.
He's averaging like, what's that, 23 and a half? 23 and a half and 9?
No, he's not. He's averaging 25 and 9. He's averaging 25 and 9. I guess. He's averaging 25 and 9.
It's a little under 25, 24 and a half.
Yeah, so that's 25. 25 and 9.
He's literally.
You could round down, though. You could round down.
He has literally.
Why would you round down 0.5? What are you talking about?
He's literally. That's literally like not math rules, bro. 5 and up goes, to the next number, but cool. Anyways, yeah, he's actually. You can honestly say dominated you guys. So I mean, and without him, it was a very close game too, I believe.
It was a one game he dominated. Well, one game he was 29 and 10. One game he was 20, 10 and 8, but it was 35%. It wasn't. I don't want to call that dominating.
No, shooting 7 for 20 is pretty dominating.
No, the first game was bad. That was early in the season, and I just don't think that he had experience with the whole roaming concept of having a great perimeter defender, just staying in front of him and then leading them down to a guy like Chet. That was a problem. We saw that problem with the Grizzlies, but then like as time went on during the season, you kind of saw him get adjusted to it. New defensive looks, but again later on in the season, he's been adjusted to it. So
he's seeing the same type of defense against the Lakers.
I know you're gonna say that. The Lakers is totally different because it's just like a size mismatch, like through damn near like the whole lineup. The Lakers are just huge, and honestly, Anthony Davis and Chet are on 2 different levels. I'm not gonna lie. Like
I'm not. Chet kind of ate on you guys this year. I didn't even know that.
No, he did.
Yeah,
Chet's averaging 18 and 11.
It's a side, but there's also a side as advantage for Zion versus the Thunder in general, and he still don't you know what I'm saying, do what he do. So
that's not true. The second game he like literally completely dominated. I'm just saying the first game earlier in the season, we all know it didn't look good. Defenses were adjusting how they played him. Again, him adopting a new role, it just didn't look good. But again, if you look at the second game, it's a total night and day difference, and he's picking you guys apart in the playmaking department as well.
I don't know. J-Dub was very solid last game, and Chet's been eating. So I think regardless of who we play, whether it's the Thunder or whether it's the Pels or the Warriors or the Kings, I guess I think we're winning in 6 at the most, or we could do it in 5.
So
you're slow.
No. I'm saying I said all 3 teams. I think we could win. Honestly, I think we'll beat the Pels or the Warriors. I think we'll beat the Pels, the Warriors in 6, and I think we'll beat the Kings in 5.
Okay. I think the Thunder will beat the Pelicans in 6 games. I do. They have one of the league's best offenses, one of the league's best defenses. Now, I think this is a series that favors Zion because, again, Chet is a great rim protector, but he is on a frail side, and I think Zion can play well against the Thunder. But over the course of a 7-game series, I just don't think Zion will be like super dominant just because Mark Daigneault is going to scheme up different things throughout the series, and he's a one-level scorer who's 6'6", and like that doesn't bode well in the playoffs. Like in history, it just doesn't. Like we've seen even Giannis, who is 7 feet, have struggles in certain matchups. Now, I think this is a matchup that's favorable for Zion, but I think we really have to stop talking about the Pelicans as just Zion because they have more players than that. They have B.I., they have Herb, they have Trey Murphy.
I literally outlined that.
Okay, I'm just talking about in general when we talk about the Pelicans. So I think that favors the Thunder though because they have Shea, they have Dort, Jalen Williams. So I think they'll have the perimeter pretty much locked up, and it's really going to be if Zion can dominate this series, which he might be able to. But I think I trust Mark Daigneault to adjust. I think they have the best player in the series. They have home court advantage. So I think the series will be over in 6 games. It could go 7. I think it's going to be a very entertaining series for sure, though. But I don't think the Thunder are losing in the first round. They've been one of the best teams for the entire series season. I'm not going to just ignore them being one of the best teams for the entire season. And just because they have – it's not even a terribly bad matchup. It's not a terrible matchup for them. I don't think at all.
Besides, if it's the Lakers, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of scared. We didn't even mention that. If it's Lakers,
I'm picking the Lakers.
In 7, I have the Lakers in probably 6 or 7. Yeah,
in six.
I gotta try that. The Lakers in 5.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's purely then experience over. You know what I mean? Like I think LeBron and AD will eat. Obviously, the rebounding matchup. But it's just experience kills. Experience kills in that situation.
Besides the Raptors in 2019, what team has taken Giannis out of his element?
Exactly. Miami last year.
Miami.
That's different. He was hurt. He got hurt. And wasn't that like the first game?
Nah, Miami's always up. But Bam is a great matchup defender against Giannis. Obviously, Giannis is still gonna end the game with whatever he ends with, but purely just on matchups, Bam is a great matchup for Giannis. Like it's not like much you could do, you know, with that. Also, that Miami Heat scheme, Eric Spoelstra, like it happens. Like it's not like a foregone thing that like Giannis be doing what he can do. If you limit it, it's gonna be easier to stop you. Like if you have no perimeter game, it's easier to stop you. The only way you're gonna get your numbers if you just, you know, be that dominant. But Zion is not that dominant all the time. Sometimes it's not his fault. Sometimes it's game dependent, it's game plan dependent, coach dependent. But more often than not, he's not always dominant. So you just got to bank on that.
Yeah. Also with the Thunder matchup, again, I think I hit on it. But BI coming back, that changes a lot. That changes a lot as well. So I'll take the Pelicans in 7. I think we.
I do want to say I think the Pelicans are going to involve Zion in every single action to neutralize him on the offensive end because if he gets tired of a team, they can play into their hand as well.
I'm not trolling. Jaden, I'm not trolling at all. Please don't think I'm trolling. I'm so dead serious.
You think the Pelicans are going to utilize him in every action? You meant the Thunder.
Oh yeah. I mean, the Thunder are going to use Thunder are going to utilize him in every action, attacking him in space. I don't know. So your starting lineup is going to be what? Larry Nance at center, or are you going to start Val? What's the plan?
I think you start Val to start and just see how it looks.
Jade,
he's going to be cooked.
Jade.
If I was putting out the lineups, I would just see how Val works. Honestly, let me see what he's done in the series against the Thunder. I think he's played very well against the Thunder.
Jade, absolutely.
He's dominated Chet. He's dominated Chet, I believe.
Hold on. Go ahead.
I was saying no troll. Like, I am so dead ass. But if you guys are playing through Zion the entire series, and if we are attacking Zion the entire series, do you have concerns about cardio and like him actually being like tired to actually play through? I'm like so dead ass. You think I'm trolling? I'm so serious. If he's the focal point of the entire series, do you think for the entire 7 games he's going to be there?
Yeah, in limited minutes, JV has played very well. So you're probably going to see him probably play like 20 minutes a night in this series. I think if he gets around 20 minutes, that would be perfect. For you, Max, you're not funny.
You think I'm trolling? I'm so dead serious. I'm so serious, man.
Val ain't playing small minutes because limited minutes. He's not playing because he can't play off the floor. So don't like him, getting 14 and 20. It's a good thing. It's not a good thing. Like, it's because he does a lot of that in the first quarter. They take him out on, because defensive and offensive, purposes.
Exactly. So like, he gives you that offensive punch. So if he can give you again in limited minutes, in 20 minutes,
it's not worth it, is what I'm saying. Because those minutes, a lot of those minutes is usually probably from him starting out the game, and they have to take him out. You know what I'm saying? So those limited minutes don't really. It's not like a good thing of how you're trying to make it seem. Like, I understand what you're trying to like. Those aren't good minutes. Like, those are just. It's like that because he can't afford to stay on the floor. Like, he's getting his time cut short. Those aren't good minutes for him.
That's true. I'm not gonna argue that. That's true. But ideally, I think that's just what it's gonna be for this series. Is probably gonna play like 15 to 20 minutes, and if he can produce on the offensive end as he did in the first 2 games. Now, the last game he played, it was more of what you were saying, Q. 11 minutes.
I get what you're saying, but like, you got to take it with a grain of salt. Understand, like, it's the playoffs. Like, this is a different like type of situation. Like, it might be worse than that. Like, you might have to shave that 20 down to 15. Like he might have to play like 5 minutes a quarter.
Didn't he play? Hasn't he not been playing like the last 2 games of the season? Because I know he didn't play against the Warriors, not that much for sure.
Yeah,
he didn't play against the Lakers either.
Yeah, he's kind of been getting played off the floor. To you, Max, you're not funny.
You think I'm joking? I'm so serious.
I don't think that was funny.
I'm so serious.
Zion's health.
That hasn't been an issue this year.
Yeah, Zion's health has been incredible. Even like last year, or look at 2021, he's played 33 minutes a game, 33 minutes a game last year. 32 this year. So I'm not worried about Zion's cardiovascular. I mean, it's kind of an unfunny joke now. He's played 7.
I'm not calling him big. We talked about this a long time ago. He's in much better physical shape. I'm just saying, if you're attacking him for 7 straight games.
I see what Max is saying. I think he could.
He's been involved on the defensive end.
But what we're talking about is Latif thinks that Zion's going to eat this series, right? Zion's going to be the focal point of your offense. And OKC's going to try to take advantage of that and put him at the focal point of their offense to attack him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's tough to be going at it the entire time. And I think that the one way that they could beat the Thunder with their good perimeter defense is, I think, if Zion attacks, he can kick out. You're saying he gets all these assists, perfect, fine. If Zion can drive and bring the defense in, and you have open shooters and stuff, again, that's just more on him to do his job. So if everything is just going through Zion, has Zion played through a full 7-game series before? When did he make it in
the playoffs? He's never been in the playoffs.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, where it's the same exact game over and over and over again. Like, it's different than playing 7 games against 7 different teams.
Defensively, you're going to put Zion in the best situations possible to be like a help defender. I don't think you're going to be constantly always going to be able to get Zion on a switch Or
they play 5 out, so they can just have Lou Dort. If y'all have them on Lou Dort, you just have Lou Dort to set the screen. That's all they gotta do.
So I'm saying you put
matchup hunting is literally the offense in the NBA. That's what every single team does. That.
That's the easiest to do.
If you put Zion in ISO with Shea or J-Dub, like I just don't know if he's gonna like move with them right now.
Oh, he's definitely not.
Shea will kill him.
Yeah. So like again, it's like nothing against Zion as a player. I say the same thing about anybody.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm heads, nigga. Heads. I don't give a fuck. Heads, bro. I can't.
J-Dub would cook him too, bro. Be serious.
J-Dub would. Nah.
By the way, when you guys still made fun of me when I said J-Dub was gonna be better than Franz, but that's cool. We can go back to that clip last year.
Who made fun of you for saying that?
The guy in the top left corner of my screen, Latif loved it.
Find the clip. I don't remember that.
Because I remember I said that. Yeah, watch him move around like that. Moving around like that is crazy.
All right, bro.
Because I remember you were talking about TikTok comments. You were agreeing with TikTok comments or something about someone saying Franz was better.
Was that a redraft?
They weren't in the same draft.
That's what
what is he doing right now? I don't know. All right, come on.
I was saying pound for pound.
All right. Are we doing more teams in the West? Because we're not. These are not.
Yeah. Denver.
We got to do Clippers maps. I
would say I'm not gonna lie. We can hop through Denver. quick.
Denver, yeah.
If it's
whoa.
I'm sorry. I'm like
Lakers are not touching.
If it's the Pels, it's Nuggets in 4. If it's the Lakers, again, I love LeBron. Maybe it goes 7, but I think it's out in 6.
Hell
I think
no.
it's Denver in 6.
No, I think that the Nuggets dominate.
I hope so. I would love that. But I'm thinking Denver in 6.
I think the Nuggets once again dominate the series. Is this Lakers team better than the Lakers last year?
Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
They definitely are.
AD's playing better. AD's playing better.
It's better than that team, and it's more healthier.
Yeah, exactly.
They literally won more games than last year.
D'Lo's playing a lot better.
Yeah, true. That was like a regular season thing. I'm not too worried about. We know what the Lakers could be at full strength, and that was kind of their problem last year. So I'm not worried about that.
I understand. They went into the playoffs. They went into that series. LeBron James went into the playoffs on 1 foot. Yeah. And those all 4 of those Nuggets games were decided by like 7 points in the fourth quarter. Like it was a tie, like damn near tie ball game, 5 minutes to go. Like, and this is what LeBron James on 1 foot shooting like 23% from 3. He's shooting a career high percent from 3 this year. Attempts, I understand the attempts, but like LeBron James could go like 7 for 12 one game from 3. You just never know. Like he can do that. And he's playing incredible basketball. Anthony Davis playing one of the the best of like damn near of his career. Like this is a way better team. Like
so Q.
And that all that was going on. It probably gonna be the same or better this year.
Q. So like if you had to put $1,000 on this series, you are confidently taking LA in 7.
I'm not confidently taking LA in 7, but
that's what you're taking. Okay.
I'm gonna take LA in 7. Yes.
I'd never like to bet against LeBron James, but
I agree.
I'm not betting against LeBron James in this series. I'm betting against Darvin Ham because last year the series was close. It was a sweep, but a lot of the games was close. This year, when we lost him, a lot of the games were close. But when it comes down to it in execution time, it's a coaching gap. It's clear. Like every time the Nuggets go. I know what I'm saying. So every time the Nuggets go down the floor, they're getting a great bucket. Like the sets are there, they spam the same sets. You know what I'm saying? So that's the real reason why the Lakers are not going to beat the Nuggets. They're not going to beat them. It's going to be like the Nuggets in 5 or 6. I would say, no, this is going to be like the Nuggets in 6 because Darvin Ham is the coach. The Lakers are not going to win anything with Darvin Ham being the coach. I'm sorry. That's not me betting against LeBron James. I'm being realistic and saying Darvin Ham's the coach and we're not going to win anything with him. Like seriously. Like so, yeah, the Lakers are probably going to lose in the first round, but it's not going to be the worst first round exit ever because it is the defending championships. It is Jokic the best player in the world, and this is Nuggets. So I mean,
first round loss for LeBron. Wow.
Michael Jordan lost in the first round a couple times. So I mean, I don't know.
A lot of times.
A lot of times.
What's better teams? No, this is a better team.
What's a better team
than the ones that MJ lost?
LeBron is 39 years old. LeBron is 39 years old.
LeBron James is losing in the first round at 40. Michael Jordan is losing in the first round and not making the playoffs at 21. There's two different.
Yeah, exactly. Context, please.
50-year-old George Gervin, bro.
A 50-year-old LeBron James.
Cool, bro. Anyways,
how is that a reaction? How is your rebuttal just cool, bro? Like that's you gotta like a little more than that.
Bro, all vibes.
Because we're arguing somebody who's super young who just came into the league and somebody who's super old. So it's like
when LeBron was super young and came into the league, what happened?
He didn't make the playoffs.
I mean, he made the finals in 4 years into his career. When Jordan make his first finals? Oh, but Jordan's wasn't weak East.
Very weak East.
For Jordan?
No, for LeBron.
Jordan wasn't even running into Boston and Detroit on an every year basis.
Bro took down a team
Detroit like the second year.
Finals.
Yeah, once
took down back to back finals.
My biggest problem with him is that he did not beat Boston and Detroit till they were old and done. So we're gone. Like
when did Jordan go against the Celtics? It was like his second year.
It's like his first playoff series, like his first ever playoff series, and he got cooked.
Exactly, but that's a starting lineup of Hall of Famers.
Do we have to get into Jordan LeBron right now?
I'm just saying, it is what it is. It's your preference. You're talking about cool, bro, can't be my only thing, or we're arguing somebody who just came into the league, and we're arguing somebody who's 40. So it's like it's whatever preference you desire. You're saying one is old. I can say one is young.
But one makes sense and one doesn't. But that's besides the point. Based off how the games have gone with the Lakers, like I know we moved on. I just wanted to get this point out because we started on some nonsense. Based on the games have went on, it's not a talent issue. Because Jokic is the best player in the league, but clearly the rosters, it's not like really a talent issue. It's really just a coaching gap, and that coaching gap just happens to be 8 points every single time. Like that's the gap of winning 8 points. That's how much more Mike Malone is worth than Darvin Ham. Like if LeBron James, Anthony Davis could find some way to override Darvin Ham being a bad coach, they definitely could come out with a win in the series. It's just a very slim chance of that happening.
All right, let's get this ball rolling because I think the Pelicans and the what's-his-faces are about to face off.
That game over after 15 minutes, bro. So don't worry about it. Suns Timberwolves. Suns at 6?
Suns at 6? I got the Suns at 6 too. I got
the Timberwolves. I got the Timberwolves in 7. Now, again, I don't want to push past you. You have KD. You have D-Book. Bradley Beal's wise. I don't care. You can take him out of the series, honestly. Don't care about him.
Have you watched Bradley Beal the last 2 months of the season?
How are they going to take Bradley? Who was taking Bradley Beal off the series, though? Because the best defender is probably going to be guarding KD. And then the second best defender is going to be guarding Devin Booker. He can cook against the third best defender on the team. I promise you he can. Now, this is a terrible matchup. This is a terrible matchup.
Who's the third best defender, buddy?
The third best defender in the starting lineup is probably going to be Mike Conley or whoever starts at the 2. Nikhil Alexander-Walker.
You think Rudy Gobert is guarding KD, bro? I'm talking like Rudy Gobert is going to be guarding Nurkic, bro. Be serious. So, literally, this is a terrible matchup for the Timberwolves. They've got smoked when they played them this year. And it's because the Suns don't operate in the paint. And that's where they like to funnel their defense to. The Timberwolves are a great rim protecting team. But the Suns operate from the 3-point line in the mid-range. That's where all their points come from. So that's why they've been able to cook them because they have so much perimeter offensive talent. Again, the Timberwolves offense is terrible, especially down the stretch. They play terrible. And surprisingly, the Suns are a top 15 defense this year. They're number 13. So I trust KD, Book, Beal more because they have more experience, Vogel in the playoff series more than the Timberwolves. Now, I know the Suns have been underwhelming this entire season, but this is a great matchup for them to face in the first round, and they will win in 6 games.
Quick side note, Bradley Beal last 20 games, 20, 25, 24, 22, 15, 28. Went through like a 5-game little skid and was right back at it. 15, 13, 14, 33, 19, 26, 20, and then the last game had 36 against the Timberwolves.
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing.
Bradley Beal last 2 months has been on a heater. He's pretty much back, not back to form, like not back to 30 points per game, obviously, but like as their main initiator and the third best offensive player on the court, Bradley Beal is going to be fine. That's better than the third offensive player that Timberwolves have, and they have a lot more experience. And I trust Kevin Durant more than I trust Anthony Edwards. I trust Devin Booker more than I trust Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert combined. Like I'm pretty comfortable with my Suns at 6.
Listen, man, the Suns won 125-106, 97-87, 133-115. They've dominated the Timberwolves this year. Smoked them.
I'm taking the Timberwolves in 7. I just have
based on what?
I mean, if you would let me talk, I was like gonna get into that.
What?
Just based off of my faith in Anthony Edwards, man. I think he's gonna go stupid. I think he's gonna go stupid in this series. I think that you do have the perimeter defense to slow down Bradley Beal. Obviously, with the third, them saying you got the third best defender on D-Book not on D-Book, on Bradley Beal, that does make a difference. But I do think that you have the defensive pieces to slow Bradley Beal down. So yeah, I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna take him 7. First off, you can start Nikhil, not start Nikhil. You can have Nikhil. You can have Nikhil guard Bradley Beal, and Nikhil is no slouch on the defensive end, like at all.
Nikhil's a great defender. Hold on, but if you take him out the lineup, they have no playmaking at all. Like they have none of it.
Wait, quick thing. Anthony Edwards versus the Suns. Because this is why I understand you be running around saying stat boy like you hate stats. I just want you to understand your faith is based on nothing. Because last 3 games versus the Timberwolves this season, 13, 17, and 13 on 25%, 31%, and 42%. He's not doing anything, bro. Like there's nothing on the tape that tells you, he should go crazy this year. Like, there's no evidence of that. Like none.
How many games did Cat appear in? Did Cat appear in all 3 of those games?
He appeared in the last 2 and in the first one.
Shit.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen Timberwolves fans like punching their hopes on the season because, again, what they're gonna need is to win a series. They're gonna need Anthony Edwards to be the best player in the series and for Cat to show up. I don't know if those 2 things are gonna happen. And as much as we talk about like neutralizing people, like this is Kevin Durant, y'all. Like it would be a series. Like Jamie Downs is he's a defender.
Nobody said they were going to neutralize Kevin Durant. By the way,
they have who are they stopping though on the perimeter because they have great defense. But like you put KD, Jaden Downs going to guard KD, but KD's still going to get his. Like he is.
Duh.
Like people is still going to get his.
Hold on, Bradley Beal versus these same Timberwolves, 35, 14, and 36. And the only reason why he had 14 is because he only took 9 shots and he made 6 of them. Bradley Beal's playing way better against them than Bradley Beal's playing against them better than Anthony Edwards is playing against the Suns. Like,
I mean, you can't say that,
way, bro. There's no way.
The defensive attention is on KD and D-Book, bro.
Well, that's just make our point even better though. It's like I don't know what your real argument is for the Timberwolves. I don't.
And it's my second
player. Frank Vogel don't got to change his game plan at all because the Timberwolves changed their game plan.
This one is all vibes. This one is all vibes. I will say that this one is all vibes.
Max, who are you picking in the series?
I'm not gonna lie. Like going into this, I feel like it sounds nasty to go against the Timberwolves just for like what they did in the regular season. But it is the regular season. Looking at a 7-game matchup, I don't know. Especially, I did not know Beal was killing the Timberwolves like that every game. But that's like, I'm not gonna lie.
You gotta watch the games. You gotta watch the games. You have to watch the games.
I'm not gonna lie. The amount of Timberwolves games I've turned on for them being the top seed is not many. I'd have to go Suns in 7. But like again, I had Frank Vogel as coach of the year this year. I thought the Suns team was going to be sitting where the Timberwolves were. They're not, but they have the chance to right those wrongs now.
I don't know why we thought that. Like, based on the roster,
but they were a couple years ago, and I get it. They were a lot deeper. What was it, 2021?
But that's just it. Like, you don't even have to like explain anything more. Like, they were just that much deeper. Like, the Timberwolves were going to be and I remember in the preseason show that we went down, I had the Timberwolves being a top 4 seed I think teams did too because they had a roster to go through the regular season.
Yeah, like that
season roster, so they were never going to be a top. They should have never been viewed as this top seed.
And I guess that's the difference. Is like once you make the playoffs, all bets are off. You just gotta have guys who can go out there and hoop. But like when you look at the roster wise, like I didn't think some of these guys are gonna be like obviously Grayson Allen playing how he's been is a pleasant surprise for them. I didn't think Nurkic was gonna be this bad. Like I thought they'd actually have at least a 7-man rotation. Getting Royce O'Neal, that helps obviously a little bit. But I thought they'd actually have like a competent 7-8-man rotation. But with the injuries to Bradley Beal, obviously, that takes him out of your rotation. You got to start playing a bunch of randoms. So, you know what I mean? Like, I think when you have a 3-headed monster of Booker, Beal, and KD, you look at the team at the start of the year, and what Jaden was saying, your primary coverage is on Booker and Durant, so Beal can go out and score. Beal used to be a number 1 on Washington and scored, 25, 30 a night. So, you know what I mean? Like, it kind of takes that off, and they can just score all the time. You put in a defensive-minded coach like Frank Vogel, that's going to help some of the defensive things. Grayson Allen, obviously, like I said, is a very pleasant surprise for them, shooting the 3 ball really well and actually like being able to defend. Like, we didn't know that going in, but when you have those 3 top guys, especially Kevin Durant, when's the last time a Kevin Durant like led team or a Kevin Durant team was like past a 4 seed? And I get you could say he has help or whatever, but whenever KD makes the playoffs, they're a top seed.
No, they were number 7. They were number 7 in Brooklyn.
When they played the Bucks that year?
They played the Celtics. They were number 7, right?
The Celtics. But that was also those
too. But yeah,
that's a different scenario. Like a fully healthy Kevin Durant team usually has a top seed.
I was gonna say like OKC's Golden State's a weird one too. So you really got to go back to OKC.
OKC, if the first 10 years of his career, Kevin Durant basically lived in the Western Conference Finals and was a top.
Trust me, I know. And it hurt every year.
That was when. If like at the same time, every single season, Kevin Durant played for the Nets around 40-something games. They have a great record. They're a top 3 seed in the East. Kevin Durant, we're throwing Kevin Durant in early MVP talks, and then they go down for injury. That's what's been happening. So that's why they don't really have the top seeds. But this is the same thing with this team. Like this time, he didn't get injured. Like he played 76 games. Everybody else got injured. So when the other there's nobody else on the team, it's hard for like a 35-year-old, like just take the name off the jersey. A 35-year-old carrying a team with nobody's damn near. I can't expect them to be a top, 3-4 seed.
I understand, but let's be real. KD is not a normal 35-year-old. It's still Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying? You could say the wear and tear on his body's the same, but it's Kevin Durant still.
Clippers Mavs.
Mavs is 7.
I'm taking the Clippers. If Kawhi plays all the games, I'm taking the Clippers in 6. If Kawhi misses a game, I'm taking the Clippers in 7. I think the Clippers match up very well with the Mavs. Obviously, Luka's going to go off. Kyrie's most likely going to go off. James Harden has taken a step back over like the past 2 months. Obviously, he had that like very long hot streak. He's kind of taken a step back. But I think James Harden will be very, very serviceable. I think the Clippers have a solid 9-man rotation. Like very, very solid. Defensively, like I said, Luka, Kyrie, most definitely probably still going to go off. But defensively, I think I'm going to take them defensively and I'm going to take them offensively. It's going to be a very good series. I think Luka is going to get them out of a lot of dog shit, I will say. But I'm taking the Clippers in a 6 or 7 game series, depending on if Kawhi plays all the games.
The Clippers defense hasn't been good this year, right?
Yeah. But on the perimeter.
I guess. I'm going in Mavs in 6 or 7. I think Luka will be the best player in this series by far. Even if Kawhi does play, I think he's still going to be better than Kawhi. That's me personally. I think Kyrie's going to get off in this series. And from the trade deadline, they have been one of the better defenses in the entire NBA with additions of PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford. They've been much improved. The Clippers are not going into the playoffs on a strong foot, like at all. They play well. They played well to end the season, but like it was that one stretch where they were just bad. I think it was like February, March, where they were just like really, really bad. They've been inconsistent throughout the year, but I think it'll be a close series. It's been close with this, Clippers Mavs things. Obviously, Kyrie wasn't there, Like, they didn't have Kyrie, and it was a 7-game series. I know obviously they didn't have James Harden, different teams like that, but the Clippers have never been able to guard Luka, and they won't be able to guard him now. So this is gonna be a minimum, I think, 7-game series. I don't think what makes you say if Kawhi plays the entire game, this is a 6-game series. Like, I don't know. What makes you say that?
It's Kawhi in the playoffs.
Bro, he has not finished a playoff run since 2019. You gotta stop doing that.
Every time we've seen
it,
every time again, we're banking on his health. I think that he might not play the first game, but if he plays all games in the series, I see it going 6, bro.
That's happened one time, and that's happened one time
last year against the Suns. It looked like he was single-handed.
Playoff Kawhi has only been a thing for one season, one real postseason. That's only happened 2019
because of injury.
Yeah, so we gotta stop doing that. We can't keep saying, but Kawhi in the playoffs. That was
what did Kawhi look like? What did Kawhi look like last year before he got injured?
That doesn't matter to me, bro. What did he look like for a series? I can't tell you because he wasn't there for the whole series. I can't tell you.
He's also still injured right now. He's still banged up right now.
They breaking news on
that.
I'm just saying this playoff Kawhi thing is more fiction. It's more fiction than fact, bro. It's more fiction.
It's not fiction because if the games that he's appeared in, he has been very dominant. Of course, you can say he hasn't been able to end the series, but the games that he's played in the playoffs have been nothing but amazing. He's been
the last time he played a full. The last time he played,
bro, you can't say that. Like you can't.
The last time he finished a playoff series for real, they blew a 3-1 lead in the bubble. So, yeah,
they made it farther without him, bro. Real right.
They did.
Like that whole thing is a myth. You can't say, but for 2 games he was so great, so I know he's gonna do it for 7. We don't know that because we never seen it.
Outside of 2019.
What did you say, Max?
I haven't gone yet.
Yeah, what are you saying?
I've been going back and forth with this one. This is, I think, obviously the best series of the first round. The one thing that scares me, Luka's averaged 34 this year. He got 44, he got 30, he got 28. He's been hooping against them. Kawhi and PG both have a stinker against the Mavs. They both dropped 8. Each one respectively dropped 8 in the game. You can't do that. In a 7-game series, you can't just hand them a game. We talk about injuries. We cannot have inconsistencies. I hate the playoff P narrative, but again, we can't have inconsistencies when it comes to this. So I think Dallas, that's what I'm saying. I hate the narrative, but I'm just saying you can't drop 8 in these playoff series. The only thing that keeps me like looking at the Clippers is just the difference. Like you have 3 guys who can go out and get 30 a night. You could say the same thing. You have 2 guys on Dallas. I'm going to
50. We got 2 guys on Dallas.
It's fine.
50 and 50, 100. 3 30s is only 90. Give me the Mavs.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if we're
make a pick a stand
respectfully, you're going 35, 35, 35. Flip-flopping. The series is going 7 regardless.
Hold on. James Harden ain't no third. Like James, that's not really James Harden anymore. Let's be serious. Right now.
Look, you're saying he can't. That's crazy.
Want to do that? That's 105. All I need is Gafford to have one of those 5 out of 5 games and give me 10 and I win.
But you can say the same against anybody. You can say I need Norman Powell to be a 3-point shooter. You can say I need Russ just to explode off the bench.
What I'm saying with Luka with nobody against basically the same Clippers core, took them to 7. And the reason why they didn't win those series because 4th quarter, 5 minutes ago, Kawhi is in the first round is going out there and clamping them for 5 minutes. You know what you can't do, and with that like now is Kyrie. Kyrie is also in the playoffs a great performer. Like he's hit the biggest shot in basically playoff history. Like damn near. Like you can't single off him. What?
The biggest shot in playoff history is not the Michael Jordan shot.
I said 1. I said damn near, and 2.
I'm sorry, I thought you said D.
And 2. I'm gonna take the game 7 3-pointer against.
One's called the shot. I'm a LeBron fan. I like that's my favorite game of all time. But I'm sorry, it's the shot. Whatever, it's the shot.
Yeah, because of Michael Jordan lore of him pushing off. But Kyrie
still iconic.
Game 7 in a stagnant game. coming back down from 3-1 to win a series. Yes, Kyrie has probably one of the best shots.
One of the best, yes, one of the best for sure. Top 3.
I'd say it's number 1. And I think Ray Allen's is number 2. But we splitting hairs. That's not important right now.
As I say, no one talks about Kevin Love's insane defense on Steph play after though.
You want to hone in on Luka last 5 minutes? What you gonna do with Kyrie? You gonna throw Paul George on him? I love Paul George. Paul George got gained by Dame. Kyrie to me is what people think Dame is. You know what I'm saying? If Dame doing that, I think Kyrie gonna do whatever.
Shit was like extraordinary, bro.
To be honest, I think in this series, I know we talk about the X factors. Luka, like the other guys, Tim Hardaway Jr., Daniel Gafford, they have to step up this series. It can't just be Luka and Kyrie versus the world in these games. So
it's not going to be though.
That's what I'm saying. You can't. I think Dallas or the Clippers is the one team you can't do that with. You can do that with other teams. You can't do it with this team. With all this being said, though, I'm gonna go with Dallas in 7.
Yeah, I'm saying you could have been said that, bro.
You guys kept interjecting. I was trying to talk, and you guys kept talking.
All right. Let's get this done.
Standing on it, but be able to prove it, bro.
Yeah, come on.
I had a monologue in this. I was literally talking about all this.
Okay. Come on.
What are we getting mad at?
We got our
game.
We're good.
Because the game has started. And the Pelicans are playing well right now. Anyways.
Exactly.
All right.
They're up 2.
They are. Okay, anyways. What I got first? Okay.
Guess
the NBA play.
Oh, never mind.
Come on, bro. Guess the NBA player based on their teammates. Their teammates are Derrick Rose, Mo Williams, Joe Harris, and Andre Drummond.
Ben Gordon, bro.
You said Mo Williams, Joe Harris, Andre Drummond, and who?
And Derrick Rose.
Ben Gordon.
LeBron James.
Yeah, LeBron.
That is a correct answer, but it's not who I put on here. That is a correct answer, but it's not the player I'm talking about.
Ben Gordon, bro?
Yeah, it's LeBron. LeBron's one of them.
LeBron is one of them, but no. And Ben Gordon, no.
Who's the 4? It was D Rose, Andre Drummond,
Joe Harris,
and
Mo Williams.
Oh, Blake Griffin.
That is Blake Griffin. Good guess, Jaden. Shout out Blake Griffin, man. He just retired today. Congrats on a great career, Blake Griffin. But yeah, that's the player, Blake Griffin. He played with Mo Williams.
Did he play with Mo on the Clippers?
On the Clippers. He did. And he played with Joe Harris on the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
That's a good guess. All right. I got some NBA playoff trivia. All right. I'm going to need you guys to guess the 10 – well, I don't even know how to say this. 10 players played the most games. All right. Guess the top 10 players in NBA history to play the most playoff games.
LeBron James.
LeBron is number 1 at 282. Jordan is not on the list.
Kobe.
Kareem.
Jordan just got it over with. You got to factor in losses and stuff too. He didn't do that.
Look at him, bro. Anyways, Kobe's number 7 at 220. Kareem is number 5 at 237.
Is Steph?
Not even close.
Kevin Durant?
Not even close.
John Stockton.
No.
All right, so think about it's got to be old Lakers players. Larry.
Who?
Larry Bird, Bill Russell, 2 players.
Neither one of them are on the list.
Charles Barkley. I'm just playing.
Come on, y'all.
Yeah, I got to go back. Wilt as well on the list.
Tim Duncan.
No, he is not. Tim Duncan is number 3 with 251.
Is Tony Parker? Is Tony Parker? Yeah.
Like
Tony Parker is number 6 with 226.
Manu.
See,
Manu was
Zion taking that 3 ball. He missed.
All right. Anyways, so Manu is number 8. Manu is number 8 with 218. You guys need number 2, number 4, number 9, and number 10.
Karl Malone.
He's not on the list.
It's got to be some. Is it Magic or no?
Not on the list.
Shit, Tim Duncan.
Is AC Green a crazy guess?
Yeah, I don't have the full list pulled up, but he's not on the list.
AC Green's a lot of those Lakers teams.
Damn. What's left? Number 2.
Byron Scott?
No. Number 2, number 4, number 9, number 10.
Is John Sally on the list? Is John Sally on the list?
These players, no. Who the hell was that?
He literally played on
casual.
Yeah, exactly. That's insanely casual take.
I guess I'm casual.
Oh, don't listen to him. Nobody really cares about John Sally. He wasn't super important to the Pistons.
He played on. I'm just saying he played on 3 championship teams.
That's cool for him.
We're talking about playoff. We're talking about
okay.
Okay.
These players are very well. They play with some great players. They want the star players.
Yeah, Ori.
Robert Horry is number 4 with 244.
Bro got more rings than Jordan.
Steve Kerr.
Steve Kerr is not on the list, but stay on that trend. Like players, no.
Ray Allen.
Brian Scalabrine?
No.
Cut it out,
no.
Cut it out, bro. Yeah.
Number 9 is an all-time great.
Shaq.
Hakeem.
Shaq is number 9. Shaq is number 9 with 216. So now you need number 2 and number 10.
Hakeem.
Number 10. No, it's not Hakeem. Number 10 is also all-time great. But like not high up there. Not high.
Wait, D Wade.
No.
Kevin Garnett.
No. That's high, bro. That's too high. 15 is too high. He also played with another all-time great player.
Oh, David Robinson.
No.
He didn't play like super long and super like far into the playoffs.
Did anyone say Pippen?
Scottie Pippen is number 10. He has 208 playoff games played. Number 2 is
he
also played with
Derek Fisher.
No. Derek Fisher is number 2 at 259. All right.
I remember that now.
I feel like some of them are gonna be hard. I knew it. All right, last thing. Guess the NBA team based on their points per game.
Can I guess?
Good.
Is it Boston?
This is Boston. It is Boston. The point guard is Drew Holiday. The shooting guard is Derek White. The small forward is Jaylen Brown. The power forward is Jason Tatum, and the center is Kristaps Porzingis. Good guess, Max. I'm about to make it harder next time.
I mean, yeah, that was this is one of the easier teams in my opinion.
Hold on.
All right, next team.
Someone else take it.
Oh, hold on. Why is it doing that? Okay. Oh, this is the Lakers?
This is the Lakers. Yep, D'Lo at 18 points per game. Shooting guard is Austin Reeves at 15.9. Small forward is Rui Hachimura at 13.6. LeBron and AD are the power forward and centers.
Why did I think LeBron was not playing power forward?
Yeah, I didn't think LeBron.
I didn't think he played power forward.
All right, guess the NBA team based on their starting lineups, points per game. If you're watching the video, make sure you comment a guess before you reveal the team.
Oh, this is one of them ones, Latif.
Is it Minnesota?
This is Minnesota.
Turn me up. Let's go. 3 for 3.
Mike Conley, 11.4. Ant at 25.9. The small forward is Jaden McDaniels at 10.5. Power forward, Cat, and the center is Rudy Gobert. I made an all-playoff team.
It's just an open dunk, bro.
I made an all-playoff team just because, but if I wanted to make it harder, I could have. But yeah, I figured y'all would get those pretty easily. Damn, I'm not gonna have enough for TikTok. It's gonna be like 30-second clips.
Larry Nance just missed the open dunk, bro. I can't, bro. I can't with this team, bro. It is what it is, though. Anyways, this was one of the longer episodes that we've produced in a minute, I believe. A minute 45 is what it's probably going to end at. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Again, every day we're inching closer to that 1,000 subscriber mark. Appreciate all the support, but keep supporting. All the support that we're getting on TikTok, all the support that we're getting on Instagram. We need y'all to come over here to YouTube. We will be posting on Spotify. Somehow try to get it on Apple soon, just to get our platform a little bit more out there. Again, all of our socials are at the top. Make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe. This has been the Debate Room. This is the 86th episode. 100 episode coming soon, man. We gotta do a 100 episode special. But once again, appreciate you guys for supporting, and we're out.